Raise your hand if you can relate with any of these statements. So, in your pursuit of accomplishing your goals, your dreams, your vision, you know what you need to do, but you're not taking consistent action. Or maybe you're someone who tends to procrastinate. Or maybe you're feeling stressed because you want to make things happen as soon as possible now, right? And we want to accomplish our goals in the fastest, quickest way possible. And maybe sometimes you're on the other end of the spectrum, you're losing drive and momentum if you're not seeing the results that you want to see. Or maybe you're someone who is just saying like I have no time because I have too many responsibilities to take care of. I cannot like too much on my plate. I'm juggling too many hats, too many roles. I don't have time. So raise your hand, and I'm curious how many of the statements have you checked off your list? Because I know that for myself, I can definitely relate with all of the statements at one point in my life. And in times, all five of them, I felt that going through that cycle. Um, but what if there is another way? What if there is a way for you to make it easier for your future self to take consistent action? What if you learn to accept and work with your natural tendencies and preferences? So it's not really procrastinating, it's just flowing with your own rhythm and timing and pacing. What if you can cultivate a deeper sense of trust and surrender so you don't have to feel that you have to make things happen at a certain timeline? Yes, it is important to have a timeline that we set for ourselves, but we're also recognizing that there is a higher power and there is a divine time, which is perfect, right? Everything running on schedule. What if you don't need to worry about losing drive and momentum because you're connecting with and showing up as your new becoming? So it's coming, emerging from you. The actions that you're taking, you're being pulled and you're being led by your higher self, by your next best version, by your soul, by your spirit. What if you don't have to say you don't have time because you were able to design your day so that it aligns with your values, your priorities, and needs at this time? And these things change as we continue to grow and evolve, and we can redesign our days as needed. Would that be something that you'll be interested in exploring? If yes, then please stay tuned because this new offering that I have for you may be the key or one of the keys to help you unlock whatever blocks you may be facing at this time in terms of reaching your goals, your dreams, or vision. So, what I have learned for myself is that, you know, when we just focus on the external, meaning we have set our goals, right? What we want to achieve, we know our numbers, we know our metrics, and we know our actions that we need to take. We have our to do lists, our checklists, our roadmap all planned out beautifully, right? We have all these tactics, these tools, these techniques that, the experts have generously shared with us, right? And yet we don't spend time with the internal work. And internal means the mindset, the heart set, the soul set work. That is when we will find ourselves out of balance, right? We're just pursuing what is outside of ourselves and we're not building that strong internal foundation, right? And usually what happens is that, we have to do something so that we can have this thing in order for us to become this kind of person. Or could be that we have to have this thing so we can start doing this action step so that we can be this type of person that we want to become, right? For example, let's make it concrete, right? I have to study so that I can earn a diploma and be a successful input whatever career you want to have. Or I have to have the money so that I can start taking this program so that I can be a successful insert career or profession. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, they are important, right? They are important. But what if we shift and we start with being the person that we want to be, or being the person that has already achieved what we want to achieve, right? And coming from that space. So we're not aiming for something outside of ourselves. We've shifted the energy into this is just something that is arising within me, that is emerging within me, right? We're stepping into your next best version, you're becoming. And the actions that you're taking are the actions of that next best version, right? And because of that, because you're showing up as that person, then you are magnetizing, attracting the experiences, the opportunities, the people that aligns with the frequency of that next best version, right? So again, we are building our internal foundation. We're tuning within and starting from that, right? We're doing our heart set, our mindset, our soul set work so that once we have a good, clear um, clarity on that, and we're building the habits that supports in expanding our hearts, our minds, our souls, in nourishing our hearts, minds, and souls, then our actions, the external actions that we take, are aligned with that new becoming, right? And that is how we actually manifest in the physical reality, because we manifest not what we want, but we manifest who we are, right? And when we are clear on the energy that we want to bring in and or step into, then we can align ourselves to that intention, and that will again magnetize or attract, bring in the right soul aligned people, opportunities, resources, events, experiences, circumstances, miracles, blessings, and abundance, right? And that is what I am sharing in my new offering, the self paced intention setting workshop, Align, Center, Ground. And this workshop is actually, um, I ran this workshop the first time last year, 2023. And I offered this as a live virtual workshop, meaning that we have limited time. I think it's 3 hours or 4 hours. And so I really prioritized having the spaciousness and the community factor or elements in that workshop. So I have very um, few chosen activities for the participants to do real time, and lots of time for journaling and community sharing, right? But since this is a self paced intention setting workshop, it's an advantage, I believe, for you because I was able to give a lot more activities for you to really be guided in building the essential elements and having the essential elements that you'll need to really having that internal foundation. And it will also help you in creating your roadmap, your action plan for this year, right? And this is, this can be taken any time of the year, right? And this is not just for the start of the year or start of the month. You can definitely do this anytime you want, right? Anytime that we feel we want to reset or recalibrate, right? And reconnect with our intentions, right? So, what you will be receiving is a 3 hour on demand video. It is broken up into 5 videos. Um, and it will be, again, since this is self paced, you can take it in one sitting. So, that will be a full day, I'm guessing. But I would suggest breaking it up so that just it's more spacious for you because the activities will be really doing a deep dive, and so that will be very intense and heavy. And so I would encourage you to give yourself the space to just step away, to have a break after every um parts, every stage of the workshop, just so you're not too um it can also be draining in a way, right? Because again, this is deep work. So give your time, give yourself time for rest and integration and processing. All right. And then also included is a Reiki energy clearing activation. This is actually already done. And because if you're not familiar, Reiki is an energy healing modality and it is not bound by time and space. And so I programmed the Reiki energy clearing and activation when I did that last month to be received by those who are giving their permission to receiving their energy at a time, anytime. As long as you purchase this workshop, you're included in that group activation, clearing, energy clearing and activation. So if you do not permit, if you're just like, oh, this is too woo for me, that's totally okay as well. I honor your sovereignty and agency. And so I am just sending a prayer and good thoughts for whatever intention you want to bring in this year. And of course, there is the email support. So you are free to send me an email if you have any questions, and I can support you if whatever you need as long as I can. And there is also an option. I'm not publicly offering right now my coaching services, but for the people who will be purchasing this workshop, I am opening my schedule if that is something that you'd want to receive as well, personal guidance. So yeah, so just to give you an idea of what the program flow will be, so there are again 5 videos which corresponds to each part. There is the introduction and then align, setting intention. You will be setting your intention, and then center, which is embodying intention, and then foreground, intentional living, and then lastly closing. So, you know, again, for each the align, center, and ground, there will be different activities for each stage. And I really like these are deep dives. Some are lighter than the others, but again, like I would suggest you to space this out, and whenever you're feeling like you need to take a break. Okay, it's okay. But I do encourage you to take this in order because it builds up on each activity, right? So first, of course, we need to align with the intention that you want to bring in, and the process that I will be guiding you with is really this is something that is connecting with your soul aligned vision, right? And so that is something deeper, bigger than what our ego and human self, human mind can conceive and imagine, right? And so really tuning into that, and then once we are clear on that, we also will be guided to connecting with the priorities, the projects, the goals that you want to achieve this year. And then, who is that person? We go to the center, embody intention. Who is the person that is already living the life that you have envisioned in the first part, right? And being clear on that. And then ground is where we ground into the reality, in the physical reality by taking action, right? So we will be designing your daily ritual so that you have a start on how are you going to really show up as your new becoming, right? So by the end of the program, you will have again the essential elements to building a stable and sustainable internal foundation and creating a personal roadmap and action plan. So just to be clear, this is not about creating a roadmap or action plan, but you will be guided so that you will have the essential elements in helping you create your roadmap and action plan after the workshop if you want. Right? Of course, I'm guessing that you'd want to continue that, right? But really, we are aiming to building your internal foundation here. Now, because this is just a 3-hour workshop, of course, there are still a lot of things that we can go deeper. Actually, we can go deeper into each of the activities. So just keep that in mind, right? But anyway, with that said, what will you achieve once you have these essential elements? It is, a way for you to start living your version of a successful, meaningful, and fulfilling life now. Not sometime in the future, but now, right? So you get to be in that energy now. Is that something that you'd want to have? I hope so. And if yes, then I invite you to check out this workshop. But anyway, if this is your first time to hear about me, let me just quickly introduce myself. So, hi, my name is Justine, a self proclaimed wanderer who delights in following her heart's leading. And as a wanderer, I go wherever God leads me. And in following this path, I've mastered getting lost in life and finding myself along the journey. And I in I guess professional way, what I do is I am an intuitive life guide, I am a Reiki practitioner, an inspirational author and speaker, and I have also facilitated workshops, life skills and positivity training. So basically what I feel called to do at this time is, really guiding individuals on their journey back to wholeness with themselves and oneness with God and all life. Because I believe that we are here in this world to be who we came here to be and do what we came here to do. And that is whatever that is, it's in service of the highest good of all. So there you go. By the way, just to add, this is something that I feel really strongly called to share with everyone because I feel like there is a shift that is happening in our world right now, and we need to really have that internal foundation because whatever is happening outside your world or not happening, right? The outcomes that you want to achieve, you can go back, tune in within, and come from a space of peace, of love, of freedom, right? Even without the external proof. That is what we are hoping for you in this workshop. Of course, this will take as a journey, as a process, right? But in through this workshop, I'm hoping that you will receive the essential knowledge, tools that you'll need so that you can start cultivating that self trust, that surrender. Because basically, that is it, trusting and surrendering. Trusting yourself more, trusting God, the divine, and surrendering and co creating with life, right? So, anyway, um, let me just give the floor to my dear friend and longtime client, Usher Mami N. She is a transformational coach and business mentor, and I met her in one of the programs that I joined before, and she's been with me ever since I started my coaching journey. She's one of my first clients, and she has been a repeat client ever since. And I honor her for her love, dedication, passion for the Filipino community. It is her dream, her vision to uplift the lives of Filipinos through starting and growing their businesses. So, with that, I'm giving the floor to Usher, Mommy,
I
and
could feel that she is going to be one of the pillars that will guide me in my journey as Mommy N. She too has been on her own journey of discovery, and as she shifted from one area to another, I followed her and I always was guided. I call her Usher Justin instead of Coach Justin because twice in my life, in my journey as Mommy N, I was in the midst of darkness. And even at the point of giving up because of personal reasons. But she'd pop up in my life from nowhere and she'd be the coach who'd lead me to the light. So we had months and months of coaching sessions, and that was how she guided me. There was no business advice from her in those coaching sessions. No solutions would come from her mouth. All she asked were just questions. And I now believe that these questions come from divine providence that led me to the answers that I needed at a specific time and place, not a second earlier or later. I could feel that she is going to be one of the pillars that will guide me in my journey as Mommy N.
all right. Thank you, Usher, Mommy, and for those words. So, with that, are you ready to start living your version of a successful, meaningful, and fulfilling life? If yes, then I invite you to go to bit.ly/isw self-paced. The link will be in the description, or you may scan this QR code and check out the Line Center Ground, a self-paced intention setting workshop, and see if that is for you at this time. Thank you so much if you're still here with me, and I will see you in our regular programming. Peace, love, and light.